At one point, Tesla was the most valuable company on the face of the earth. And then Elon Musk bought Twitter. Then he went on to run the Department of Government Efficiency. And now Tesla is down almost 50% from the time of the election. And if you look at just the beginning of 2025, it's down roughly 45% at the time that we are recording this video. What is going on with Tesla? Is it worth investing in the future? And is this something that Elon Musk can come back from? Can he salvage this stock? Let's go ahead and break it down. This is going to be a little bit different style of video. I am asking for your input here. So I'm going to be asking some questions, giving you my thoughts, and also giving you a little bit of data as usual. But this is interactive. This is a conversation here because we need to talk. We need to talk about this situation. So the first thing is this. Elon is Tesla. Regardless of how you feel about it, he is Tesla. He is one of the very few celebrity CEOs. And what I mean by that is he has driven the stock price more than any other CEO. You don't know the CEO of Ford. Most of you don't know the CEO of Alphabet. You know the CEO and who runs Meta. That's Mark Zuckerberg. We know Warren Buffett. But the rest of them, the S&P 500, like y'all don't, of the 500 CEOs that run them companies, can you name 10? Probably not. Like I should do a quiz of put their faces up and their names and you match them to the companies. Most of y'all would not know, right? And that's the point here. And whether it's good news or bad news, when Elon Musk does stuff, it drives traffic, whether it's online or to a website or whatever, and it drives the stock price. There was one point where he tweeted whether or not his stock should be $420 as a joke. And he got investigated for it, and the stock moved because of it. Like, that is how much he moves the stock. Sometimes that's good. Other times, it is absolutely not. And in this case, it is not. Okay, so first, when he was talking about selling the stock and trying to do all the stuff to get Twitter, which he did, and then renamed it X, and we've talked about that. That is one event which started to sink the stock. Now, the stock did recover a year or so after that. But then once he had moved more into his political realm and definitely moved into Doge, his personal brand started to decrease as well because he ventured further and further away from business and environmental stuff into weird things. Let's just call it that, with the whole salutes and saying some things. I'm gonna just leave it at that. And people have reacted. The market has reacted. And here's some data to back it up, just to be clear. For example, used EV sales used to be primarily Tesla. That is no longer the case. For example, if you were looking for a used car, a used electric vehicle, I mean, you were getting a Tesla, right? It was a small chance. We're talking 30% or less that you were going to get some other EV. That ain't the case no more. And that changed right around the time he bought Twitter and then renamed it X, and it's been the same ever since. And I'll put a graphic here to show you. It is now flipped where it's close to about 65% of used electric vehicle sales are non-Tesla now. So we're talking around, again, 65%, and it has plateaued and stayed steady for used electric vehicle sales. That is significant, meaning that once you have, sold your Tesla to go get something else, people are leaving those on the lot. They are not buying used Teslas at the rate that they used to. It has dropped off and stayed down there. They're not messing with Elon. They're not messing with used Teslas. That means something. Now, are they buying used Teslas? Well, that's a different story too. Yes, Teslas are still the most bought new electric vehicle in the US, but that gap is still narrowing. So, and there's an asterisk there, because overseas, that has also a bit different. That has changed. So, for example, in Germany, sales have dropped 76%. In Australia, sales have dropped 72%. In China, which was a very important market, sales have dropped 49%. Also, what has driven the stock market downward so far this year? Tariffs. What has been one of those tariff categories? Cars. That is going to be something that can be of interest, or at least make things a bit more expensive, both in China, which sales are down 49%, and make things a little bit more cumbersome. Now, has it hit Europe just yet? No, it has not. What components and parts of these cars can be hit in Canada and Mexico and other places, we'll see. But that's not something that is good for a company like Tesla. And again, it's still that personal brand. When you buy an item, especially a car, in this case, it's not just a car. The car represents something. And when people start to see Teslas now, it used to be, oh, this is a luxury vehicle. Let's say 10 or 15 years ago. This is a luxury vehicle. It means something. It's a status. It's, oh, this is really nice, super futuristic, so on and so forth. Now it's, oh, you support X, Y, and Z, or you're really with Elon at this point, especially if you're driving a Tesla truck. Now, how you feel about it and what it looks like, that's one story. I'm keeping my views and thoughts out of it, right? But now it kind of represents something different, but especially I'm saying because of the Tesla truck, because it's brand new, it shows that you just got this recently and you know exactly what he's doing, versus something that's older. If you got a Tesla, 5 or 6 years ago, you're in it, you already paying for it, you're not gonna give it up, right? You're currently paying for it. But it kind of represents something a bit bold and brash. It's like, hey, you are truly supporting whatever it is that he is going for, including the salute, including what may or may not be happening at the Department of Education, the FDIC, which we've talked about, so on and so forth. And some people are for that. Some people are for the things that he represents and what he's going for, and that may be fine. The issue, though, for what we are talking about is what is not fine is losing 50% in the market. Ain't nobody here fine with losing money. That is the thing that is unobjectively not cool, okay? Say perhaps, I'm not cool with saying all that kind of stuff, but you losing money that's not going to cut it with us, okay? And that is the primary thing. So you're losing 50%, right, since the election. You're losing about 45% this year. Something is going to have to change at some point. Now, we have seen Tesla lose money before. Okay, we saw, again, I mentioned when he bought Twitter, it has lost money and it has gone through yo-yo cycles before. Should you buy Tesla now, continue to hold Tesla, or sell it? For me, it's a reluctant hold. I cannot be excited and truthful about, so this is one of those times where you just buy the dip and be very confident about buying and saying this is the one that you know is going to recover in the future. We have seen Tesla come back from things. We have seen Tesla come back from double-digit drops. Yes, we have. However, because it is driven by Elon's brand, this brand evolution is different than what we have seen before. These sales numbers have dropped in a way that we have not seen before. It's one thing to say people don't like Elon because of Twitter, but the sales are strong in Germany. The sales are strong in China. The sales are strong in the US, and everything's fine. The numbers are fine. We just don't like Elon. That's one thing. It's different to say we don't like Elon and you have a 70+% drop in 3 countries and an almost 50% drop in China, which is your second biggest market. That is different. That is different. So I can't say sell everything, run for the hills. I'm really not that type of person. So I can't just say that today. So if selling is off the table and buy everything and just put on my Elon or my, because I ain't got no Elon glasses, put on my Tesla's great glasses, then I'm stuck in the reluctant hold. Now, to be transparent with you, which I always am, and I've been telling you this for a very long time, I have been slowly trimming my Tesla and I have been slowly trimming my Nvidia when those stocks were up. So I ain't got but just a sliver of Tesla left anyway, which comes in handy when things like this are happening because it's down 50%. And honestly, I don't notice. It doesn't weigh down my portfolio that much because it ain't but this much left anyway. That's why People say buy low, sell high. When it was high, I just started selling just a little bit. So, you know, it can be down all it wants. When it's just a 0.5% or 1% of the whole portfolio, who cares, right? So that's why you do it. Just like I told y'all and showed y'all when Nvidia was up 400 and something percent, I'm like, ooh, this makes up a little too much of my portfolio. Let me go on and sell some of this. Still hold it, but I'm going to sell some of this, enjoy my gains, buy myself a few nice things, and then put that in other parts of my portfolio. So should it fall, right, it doesn't take out my entire portfolio. So we call that rebalancing. Kind of why you want to do it. So that's one way that you can protect your portfolio. Two, when it is up. Now it's not up, so you need to act accordingly, kind of based on where things are. So that's just where I am personally. So again, it's a reluctant hold. I can't. So there are some people that's gonna say buy anyway, regardless of what's going on. You can if you want. I just personally, I can't do it. Maybe I'm scared. Maybe that's just me. But I just do not believe that, given all that has happened and given where his brand is, I don't think people are going to forgive that and just erase that. And especially with tariffs, we'll see where it goes and how these other countries, not just us, we're just one market, but how these other countries have shifted and how the used market has shifted. And that shifted in 2022, not just this year, but in 2022, that gap is changing. That gap is changing. And these other EV companies, while that gap for new vehicles is still there, as I've mentioned, that gap is narrowed. I'm not sure if Tesla's going to recover the way we are used to, and if it is going to be the same when and if Tesla comes back. If you want other stocks that are actually performing a bit better than Tesla, which is quite easy to find, and stocks that are pretty good right now, especially for on a defensive end for where the market is now. If you want to know where those stocks are and how to find them, you want to check out this video right here.